Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and on this beautiful day in the arena, I'm going to play one of my favorite decks from this meta here on the official Magic the Gathering Arena YouTube channel. Remember to like and subscribe on this channel and come back every Monday for some more sweet CGB videos. So this is a deck I've been working on kind of behind the scenes. I try to play a different deck every day on YouTube, but on this particular day, I'm going to play this one, which is one of my favorite decks to just mess around with in ranked and continue to try to reiterate on. Every time I'm not sure what I want to play, I turn to this deck. So this is a Mindsplice Apparatus blue-white control deck, and this deck aims to take control of the game, like many of my control decks, but use a mana advantage engine in Mindsplice Apparatus with a whole bunch of instants and sorceries with X in the cost to gain really big advantages that control decks normally struggle to gain. At this point in the meta, what we're often doing with control, playing a Wandering Emperor, exile their thing, maybe we also get to make a 2/2, and then we do the plus minus dance with Emperor, we get a few 2/2s. You know, that's the big advantage. We flash back our Memory Deluge for 7. That's like the big whoa. That's the watershed moment for control. Those aren't huge advantages. How about Silver Scrutiny for like 10? What if we did something like that? What if we were casting White Sun's Twilight and making so many mites and blowing up all the opponent's creatures in the process and gaining a big amount of life, and then the next turn just swinging for lethal? Like, those are much more powerful and impactful moments. And Mindsplice Apparatus makes it possible, because when you flash this artifact in on end step, on your next turn you get an oil counter on it, and your instants and sorceries cost 1 less. Then if you keep it around for another turn, they cost 2 less. And 3 less. And the more turns, the more oil you have on the apparatus, well, the more you grease the wheels, basically. This deck doesn't use targeted removal, and a big kind of thing in the format right now is Skrelv and protecting creatures with Skrelv. So the fact that this deck only cares about blowing up all the creatures with Depopulate, with Farewell, and with White Sun's Twilight for 5 is actually a huge advantage. The rest of the time we stay alive by gaining life and blocking. We have 3 ambitious farm hands to make sure we're hitting mana land drops while also not flooding out too much, because we only have to play 24 lands in the deck. We also have Sunset Revelry, which is a great way to buy time and make sure that those times when we're behind, we're getting back in it and buying and just getting as many ticks as we can on the apparatus to do big powerful things. And we have Union, which with a bunch of cards in your hand from something like a Scrutiny can gain enough life to keep us out of range. Syncopate is counterspell of choice because it gets cheaper and cheaper from the apparatus. Sometimes it's 1 mana counter target spell unless they pay like 5 or 6. Very powerful. And Witness and Impulse do an important job of trying to make sure that we always find apparatus on turn 4. It's a huge part of the deck, so we want to dig for it as much as possible. I think that if you're still looking at this deck as a weird pile of cards, then you should watch the games. The games really speak for themselves when you get going. So let's dive in. Let the Mindsplice nonsense begin. On the draw, but we've got some cheap cards and the mana's good, so let's go. Here comes Skrelv. Targeting the opponent's things might be off the menu. That's okay, we're trying to find sweepers anyway. And that's going to be a Valiant Veteran, so it's soldiers with Skrelv. The good news is that Skrelv here might not even attack, it might just sit there and protect. Sunset Revelry. We have 4 cards in hand. I think this turn, so we have this cool play where we could play the Adarkar Wastes and pay 1 life, and then we could get a Sunset that gains the life. But I think we just let the Veteran do that side for us and attack us. I think we want to play the Syncopate on their 3 mana creature this turn, because their 3 mana cards are very powerful. Nope, not going to get the opportunity, but that's okay. We still have an Impulse. Okay. So now they're attacking with the Skrelv. They've got an Inkling. Do we let that go? Yeah, that can be blocked by the Revelry. Let's go for the Impulse. Looking for a sweeper. 2 farm hands isn't particularly good. I guess I'll take something to draw more cards. We have to assume we're going to live long enough to cast it. There's our sweeper. So we don't want to syncopate like a mural this turn. The opponent is incentivized to play more soldiers. So what do we want to do? This is a tricky one, because this is a big hit. I guess I'll play the Sunset Revelry and keep the life total high. Hopefully they play out some more creatures. Play a mural or something that I really want to blow up. Yes, reveal it. Look, I can't counter anything. Don't cast the mural, anything but the mural. Nice. Ah, you got it. That resolves. Arbin coming over the top. Down to 17, so still a lot of room to go. There's an apparatus. Boom. You could pay 2 life to give it hexproof, but that won't save you. They do get a card because they control the Harbin. Alright, Skrelv relaunch, but that's it. That's really good for us. Let's just pass the turn and get ready to splice. Yep. Opponent drawing a few too many lands here. We're going to jump all over the situation. They really extended into that depopulate, and the impulse got us deep enough to find it. Okay, they're going to counter the Mindsplice Apparatus, which is fine. We've got another one. Let's play Ambitious Farmhand, hit the land drop, have the blocker. And then we'll set up the next Mindsplice Apparatus. They make the human unblockable and toxic. Can they kill me with toxic humans? I guess that's the new suspense of this particular game. They're also going to pump it with the beachhead. Three toxic, 14 life. White Sun's Twilight. Lovely card. Let's use Sunset Revelry for now. Silver Scrutiny on their turn. Actually going to start attacking them. If they're going to do that routine for a few turns, we're going to get way ahead. The Mites can't block from Mirrex or from White Sun's Twilight, so it's not possible to make an artifact to get in the way. They kept their mana open. It's interesting. Let's see about 3 cards from Scrutiny. Okay, they drew another counterspell. That's probably one of the better draws they could have. Depopulate. Be aggressive. BE aggressive. Do we blow things up now? Where's the race right now? So I think I can take one more turn of them doing their thing. Like, they don't have much else to do. So I'm sure they're happy to keep doing this, but it's better than nothing. But every turn that goes by should favor us in the long game. Ooh, Union. I'll gain some life and draw. Witness seems fun. This is kind of a fun play that you can do. I'm going to send their veteran back into their deck so they can't use the graveyard ability. We're going to hit another Union. We're going to cast that. We're going to hit another Farmhand. I'll cast that. Send in the creatures. So now they're down 20 to 12. And they play another veteran. Could we counter that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. We could use it to keep them from using their beachhead for a turn, but it's probably not worth it. You shuffle the veteran back in, they draw it immediately. They're just doing this to make me look bad. Sure, I'll block now. Fine with me. Another Mindsplice. Not really what we needed, but ascend. Keep up the pressure. All right, they've got 2 poison, so 1 blocker won't be enough. So we'll do this for 9. And they'll have to draw like resolute reinforcements to block 2 creatures just to see another turn. That'll do it. It was all over at the first depopulate. Well, that hand is a hand. Hopefully the farm hands can, you know, defend the farm all on their own, buying us time for scrutiny. I have trouble resisting, though, these kind of silly looking hands. And here comes mono red. All right, we're gonna need to draw some better cards. Sunset Revelry definitely counts. One, two, hello. Doing the thing. Felled in so hard to block, though. And of course we drew the 3rd scrutiny. Why wouldn't we? Shuffler is fine. Yeah, we're not going to draw a card from these Revelries probably ever, so let's just get it going. Upkeep, play with fire to the face. Scrying top. Caw. I mean, you haven't played your whole hand yet, opponent. Don't you have 1 or 2 more cards? Yeah, blocking Feldon just kind of gives them another card. It's not good for us. We need to draw, and I mean we need to draw more life gain and board wipes. Opponent's still going at it. I don't think holding up Syncopate there does us any real good. It's just so hard to Syncopate mono red. It's not a good card against them. Whereas hitting our land drops will be important. 3 play with fires, huh? Mastery. True mastery. All these scries to the top. Down to 7. There's a White Sun's Twilight, but we don't have a lot of time for it. I think we pass here and try to draw 2. Because we've got to get a sweeper. But drawing the 3rd scrutiny is just so Magic the Gathering. Ah, that's unfortunate. What a perfect top deck for them. Because we do have to blow that up. Now we have to draw a depopulate. Ganjo? Don't think that's gonna quite do it. Trying to hold on for this White Suns, but I don't think we're gonna make it. Ah, that beautiful moment when they act like they are going to do something other than attack with everything. Of course that's all you do. Alright, put me to 1. Draw depopulate. Don't die. Have them draw nothing but land for the rest of the game. Alright, well, that didn't go well, did it? And what could we draw off this? I guess Sunset? I'm gonna try to draw Sunset. Ah! No! Not like this. Rude. Rude. Just have me go first, and that wouldn't happen. And we keep, because we've got the impulse. It can get us lands. The 2 farewells is hilarious because haven't drawn one all day, but there's 2 in your opening hand. It's fine. Another sunset. This turn we're going to impulse. We're on the play this time, so the sunsets might actually draw a card for the first time today. Looks like the opponent has another creature. It's the underdog. The 1-2 punch that has been teaming up for a long time now. Unfortunately, we have to put the Mindsplice on the bottom to take the land. Nope. Do not get to draw a card because the opponent got to make the first 2 plays. Let's see. This forces them to use some mana. This kills the underdog potentially. Yeah, let's try to kill the underdog. Okay, they're pumping Sleeper, sure. We go down to 20. And this is our Mindsplice turn, right on time. That's probably going to make a huge difference in this game. They didn't bring back the underdog. Feels like a Shieldred. Yep, they're gonna do it. If we draw the land, we can farewell right here. There it is. Okay, this is our game. Not artifacts. Never artifacts when you have your Splice. Now our opponent will invoke Despair. Nope, they've got Sorin. Oh, that's kind of a pain, actually. People don't run that much Sorin these days. Let's develop a little bit more. So, farmhand. This will draw and gain life. I don't really care about the 1/1s too much. Union. That looks fun too. Feeling good. Back to 22. Ta-da! Invoke Despair. This is one of the decks, though, when it gets going, you can take an Invoke Despair and not even feel like... You don't even feel too pressured by it. You're like, alright. I got a Soul Shatter off the top. Just gonna draw 2 now. I've got plenty more coming from this scrutiny. Farmhand. Keep it coming. Let's play this. Let's syncopate this turn. Scrutiny next turn. Every turn that goes by, the scrutiny gets a little more exciting. All right, they've got Shieldred. Gonna cast it. Let's exile that. Opponent trying to keep an aggressive posture. I'm gonna soul transfer the farmhand. Okay. All right, well, we're still at 13. Ooh, that's a Twilight. Yeah, let's put them on the back foot. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10? See if they have Gix's command or not. Because that is a 1-turn clock. All right. I guess they don't have Gix's command. Yeah, if we could do every game that way, we'd have a pretty good win rate. Our opponent with a throwback MTG name of Lord of the Pit. I'm going to keep this hand. Hopefully, even if they're very aggressive, we can go Union into Depopulate. All right, they are coming out swinging. Hopeful Initiate, Intrepid Adversary. See if they give me something worth a syncopate here. You kind of want to use it whenever you can against the aggressive decks, especially on the draw. So that is a wonderful target. That would be a huge problem if it resolved. Hopefully they don't have to. We go to 14 already. Another syncopate. If they do have another one, we'll be able to catch it. An Adeline. Okay, this is a tough choice, because if we counter the Adeline, we don't get to Union. If we Union, we get 2 shots to draw land, but if we miss on both of them, if there's no land in the top 2 cards, we are just going to die over 2 turns. This is a tough call. I think countering this is right, because if we counter it, we're taking 6 next turn, but the Union kind of fogs that for a turn, whereas the Adeline plus a few other creatures from hand can just be lethal. There, the land is there, though. I'm contemplating getting Mindsplice down. The problem with playing Splice into the Hopeful, though, is that the Hopeful will blow it up if they just leave mana open. But I have a fog for the turn with the Union. Kind of. Gains 5, I take 6. That's fine. I think we just pass. If the opponent doesn't put me under lethal, then I'm going to play the Mindsplice. Okay, that is for 7. Oh, we can go to 1. We can go to 1 here. For the content. It's mono white. They don't haste. They don't haste. Right? Okay. Here we go. Watch out for my Adarkar Waste, by the way. All right. Depopulate. I'm at 1. Gosh. Okay. I didn't take into account that I can't cast like the Syncopate the Union or anything, but they're not going to kill me, right? They're not going to kill me. 29 to 1. No big deal. No big deal. Brutal Cathar, sure. Second tick. Impulse. All right, Union, get off this 1 life rock. It's a scary place to be. I don't like it. That was a spell for the turn, so we can pass here without flipping the Cathar now. And they scoop. Oh man, 1 is not 0, but nerve-wracking when you have an Adarkar Wastes or a Pain Land on the battlefield. On the play, we will keep. We'll impulse up some lands, we'll play the Mindsplice, everything will be great. Swamp. Mono black is kind of the control of this meta if you're willing to cut like underdogs and sleepers. We do have to take the land. And we got another one. So when it comes to playing against other control decks, when you're the control deck who has like a mana engine that they can't remove in Mindsplice, and you have a lot of card draw like Scrutiny, and you have counter spells and they don't, like Syncopate, becomes a very tough matchup for the other control deck. But yeah, in best of 1, mono black basically is control. That's the way this meta has devolved. We'll go ahead and let that Gorger be to get the Mindsplice down, because everything from there gets a lot easier. The pressure just isn't that high. They've run Mirrex. Okay. Shieldred. Scary card. Draw and pay the life for it. Depop. And pay 1 for it. But now the clock is ticking on the Mindsplice. Backup Shieldred. Yep, all the Shieldred if possible. It's an untapped land we can White Suns, but nope, we'll have to wait another turn. That's fine. Just going to do a 2-point scrutiny now. Trying to hit the lands. There we go. I guess it can all go back in. They love messing with graveyards. All right. Considering our hand, what do we need the most? We're going to blow up creatures just fine. We just have to not get burned out, but we have so much life gain from the White Suns that we don't even need that. I'm just going to take the scrutiny. Just endless cards in White Suns Twilight. Speaking of endless, more Shieldred. All right, mana check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back up to 15. Threats on the board. Yeah, if you really want to mess up mono black, if that is your particular kryptonite, it's probably because you play a lot of red, if we're being real. But if you wanted to adjust strategies and mess up mono black, I would say the apparatus decks are pretty good at it. I think we just draw a ton of cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just draw 7. Beautiful. And they scoop. Easy peasy. Top 1,000, we in there. On the play, it's a good hand. If the sweepers are good, the hand is good. Swamp. I think I would choose to play against Swamp every time if I got a choice. Yeah, and probably more of the control version again. I send this farmhand into combat. Are you going to take the one? Yes, they are. You can tell they're like, do I really go for the throat that thing? Gix. Okay, that is a creature we really don't want to hit us. Opponent drawing cards is pretty bad for us. So we got another Union. Play up the Mirrex and threaten to make a pest if nothing of consequence happens. What we might see here is the opponent use the removal spell now so they can attack with the Gix. If they let me just chump block here, that's fine. If they play a second creature, of course we're going to blow them up. Okay, it's always a Shieldred these days. But hey, I agree. Run 4 of them. Show mono red who's boss. It must be done. But I'm not mono red. Not today. Oh look, another one. I feel like I've already seen this play pattern 3 times today. Maybe I have, actually. Boom. Just keep them dead. Just keep them gone. They hit every land drop. I still believe they're holding a go for the throat. Let's cast a Union now. Leaving up the Mirrex. The main phase Union before we make our land drop gains 1 extra life. Okay, we got Sunset, but it has no real value right now. Which a lot of people look at Sunset, it's bad when we're ahead. Dude, when we're ahead, like that is good news. Too bad we're losing this. I'll just add the colorless instead of making the creature in case we still have to syncopate this turn. But yeah, if anytime you're playing this deck from ahead, you're pretty favored. So it's okay. It's okay to have cards that do nothing when you're ahead. You're going to spend so much time playing from behind. That cards that are amazing when you're behind make sense here. Haha! You thought you had me, huh? I got 2 in my deck. When mono black is passing with cards in hand, they have hit every land drop. It could be land. It's likely to be like 3 go for the throats. Cut down, go for the throat. Those are the cards that just sit there. Children's Edict 2. Could have made another creature in response to hit them that turn, but I don't think that's the important part. Nice and patient. We are drawing a lot of land, so it's good that we have this to do with our mana. Both sides. You could argue very flooded. Invoke Despair. I think we should cut that off. You can normally survive an Invoke Despair, but in this situation where we're both top decking, let's just not. All right, opponent. Is your last card a removal spell? If they show me the removal spell, I'm just going to go for the kill with the Twilight. Make them top deck the answer. Wait, I can't go 10? Okay, there we go. Nope, I don't have 10. I must be 1 short. I miscounted. Still think it's right. And that would be a land. Opponent, are you feeling a little sick? A little tired? No apparatus needed. We've hit a hot streak with the deck. Let's see if our opponent is up to ending it. Our only loss was to mono red on the draw, and we were a card away from at least living a little longer. I have noticed hands with White Sun's Twilight, Scrutiny, and Scrutiny, they really need this apparatus to happen, like really badly, so cross your fingers. So will they be on Esper or something else? That Thalia is very, very mean. It's a very mean card. That is a good card. That is a card we can just keep trucking right along with. This is why the farmhands are kind of here. Just keep the deck moving and get in the opponent's way a little. When you miss a land drop against a Thalia, the game kind of feels like it's over. So you need some help sometimes. That's a block. We'll take the blocks wherever we get them. Okay, Esper. And they don't have Rafine, which is the best card they could have had there. We have a kind of a nothing turn, which is very unfortunate. Maybe I'll even draw one with this Scrutiny. Desperate times, right? All right, Ludovic, Necro Genius hits a Shieldred. Needs 2 more lands to turn into that Shieldred. I take the blocks wherever I can get them because you want less creatures for Sunset Revelry. You want one less life too. It's a balancing act. All right, they're holding up possibly an Urtai here. They are definitely in an advantage position, but we're in an okay spot. We can just say go. 2 unions can really buy us time against this deck. If the apparatus does hit the battlefield, it can offset a lot of the Thalia attacks. If they just pass the turn again, I'll probably union and not risk the Mindsplice. Let's see what they do. Because they might have Urtai. Okay, they go for Ow, the Dawn Sky. Yeah, that's a Mindsplice. That's a Mindsplice. All right, we're not in a position for Twilight to blow it up yet. We're going to need the unions. If we're going to use them anyway, let's use one now before we make the land drop. Cool. Here come the creatures. So the plazas give hexproof and indestructible, and the opponent might sit on that for a while. Make it very hard to kill their creature. Let's see. I mean, I go for a Denic. Okay. I wouldn't let the plaza shields down for that, but they must feel confident about something. The best thing they can have against the Mindsplice is an Otawara. But if they didn't use it there, they probably don't have it. Witness. So we can't target anything in the graveyard while Denic is out. Let's get the depopulate cast. See what the opponent does. They're going to get to replace some things with the Ow. But it's a big setback for them. That board was starting to deal tons of damage. And it sets up a future White Sun's Twilight. So they get to draw a card. They get to look at their top 7 and get a non-land permanent or permanence mana value 4 or less. They take a Raffine. Raffine's a good card. So we could Scrutiny for 4. We could hold up a Syncopate, which I think I like a lot. Their rebuild is probably going to be threatening. I'm going to cast a Witness the Future now. And I'm going to get their Denic. Just shuffle that right back in. I'll also shuffle in these lands. I would love for them to draw more lands with their Raffine. We hit a Sunset Revelry. That's good in this spot, right? They have more cards. Yeah, this is a full power Revelry. Yeah. Nobody looked at Witness the Future and thought about the application of thickening the opponent's deck, right? I'll talk about thinning the deck. Nobody talks about thickening the deck. Bet they discard a land. It's working. It's working. Grelv. One of the fun things about this deck, we don't play targeted removal. We just don't play it. Okay, I think we're gonna go for a Twilight. Ooh, Farewell. We could hit the graveyards, but then we don't have our own Witness the Future. Is this Twilight time? If we're gonna get... if they have a counter, we can counter the counter. So we're in pretty good shape, but that just means we can't go full power on Twilight. So let's use Farewell. That resolves so easily. All right, I'm going to hold up the Syncopate. We'll catch their reload with the Syncopate, then probably draw a ton of cards with Scrutiny. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go 9, because then we can Scrutiny for 5, which can catch any 2-mana counterspell. Cha-ching! Oh, I'm feeling accomplished. Discard 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Things looked really bad back when we were casting Silver Scrutiny for 1 because of Thalia on turn 4, because we had nothing better to do. But man, if this card sticks, it makes Thalia look kind of silly. Here comes Shelly. They're 3 mana open. Why not? Start getting some of these cast. It might be time to end this. One toxic turn later, opponent might start to feel a little ill. Oh, they did bring tech. It's interesting in Esper. Would you like to pay the 5? Would you like to pay another 5 though? Just checking. Just want to make sure you tapped out. Dude, a hot streak. This deck is definitely on a hot streak right now. Enjoying every minute.